Kick and chase by Mullins. Kick and chase again by Mullins. It'll be a miracle. Oh, it is a miracle. Fafita tries to crash his way over. He does. Fafita got the ball over the line. Hunter's kick is over the sideline for a 40-20.
Yeah, g'day champions and welcome to 40-20 Sports. It is done and dusted. Vegas round 0 is all over. The experiment is finished. Cracking games of rugby league that got played out tonight. We've just received our scores for Supercoach. They've all been updated. So we'll go through them in a little bit. Just want to touch on our league code. It is 726638. You've got until round 8 to jump in that. I think we're up around 450 people in that already. We do have the prize of a bit of a merch pack. We've got stickers, shirts, hats, all that sort of stuff for the winners. Also, please follow us on Instagram. We're going to have weekly updates on who's the highest point scorer for the week in that and who's winning. Bit of a look at our top 10 for sort of people that are thereabouts in the running for that sort of merch pack as well. So keep an eye on that. First of all, the footy, how good in Vegas, unbelievable. There's a lot of shit going along online at the moment about obviously AFL fans and soccer fans talking shit about, it's crap, they won't fill the stadiums. Awesome to see about 40,000 showed up for it. At the end of the day, if they're not all US people and the US aren't jumping on board, it is just awesome that the NRL is putting on something for the fans. I think there was 15,000 fans that flew over for that. At the end of the day, if that's all that NRL fans get out of it, that they have an excuse to go to Vegas, an excuse to travel and watch their team play in the entertainment capital of the world that they've been spruiking, I'm all about it. I'm all for it. If it doesn't work in the US, it is at least a little Easter egg and a little bonus for us fans and us diehard tragics of the game that potentially can go over and watch our team in the atmosphere that is Vegas. So that is awesome. Well done, NRL. Righto, first game, Manly 36 defeat the Bunnies 24. There was actually only one try in this. The difference there was the boot of Reuben Garrick. He kicked 6 from 6. He was immense in his first game of the year in centre. A little bit of doubt about him going from wing to centre, but he absolutely crushed it there. The opening 15 minutes would have Peter V'landys jumping on his chair like Tom Cruise would in an Oprah setting. Like, it was fucking unbelievable. There was people going down left, right and centre. It was physical. It was free-flowing. There was points scored. There was bloody Croker had a split head. He was on camera for about 10 minutes trying to get that sorted out with blood streaming down his face. Jackson Paulo, his chin was gone. Totola had a split lip that looked the size of the Grand Canyon and the old trainer was just getting Vasso slap it over. It was friggin' awesome to watch. They tried to sell it. They were trying to sell it as brutality in a brutal sport. The first 15 minutes would have knocked people's socks off if they were watching in the US. It was awesome. It was awesome to watch the 15 minutes at the start. I was all about it. So we'll get into it. We're going to sort of do a bit of a run through highest point scorer to lowest point scorer. We're not going to go through everyone. We're going to go through those that are of interest and those that have put out decent scores. So, number 1, those that owned Latrell Mitchell, 110 points. Hats off to you. Well done. He had a try, 2 try assists. Racked up 16 points in tackle busts, which is amazing. He bumped off Croker, Trbojevic with his massive big bumps. Got the crowd going, got the commentators going. Love to see it. Had a line break and 2 line break assists in there as well. He's tried to just run up the guts of him and barge a couple off and have a crash play. He said he was going to do that in the lead up. There was a couple of times he was on the Matty John show, NRL 360, that sort of thing. Said exactly that. If I can't go around him, I'll go through him. And he did that. Unbelievable stuff. Beautiful cutout ball to Gagai for his first try on debut. That was awesome to see. And he had a good little tip onto AJ there as well. He was super busy. Owners will be super happy about that. His running game was on point. I think he had 20-something points in runs alone. Super busy, like I said. Looked fit. Everyone's been talking up that he's looking fit, and my word, did he ever. So Latrell, 110 points. He was a goer there. Reuben Garrick finished just shy of a ton. He got 99 points, a try, 28 runs. Awesome to see. People were a bit worried about how his base stat were going to be affected by him moving into the centres, but 28 points in runs alone is awesome. 24 points in conversions, like I said before, 6 from 6 for Ruben Garrick, which was massive from him. Scored a nice little try, a little grubber from DCE. He also had a good little break down the field on the right-hand side there. Split them up. DCE ended up butchering a try there, but still, he looked every bit at home, Ruben Garrick. Shaky start at the start, but once he got into the groove of the game, he really filled out into that centre position. Hamal Olakawadu with 97 points. He had a try, a line break, which came from a simple unders from DCE from the scrum. 10 metres out, just barged through. Olakawadu there. Oh, Olakawadu, that's what I'm talking about. Keon Kalamatangi, sorry, he bumped him off quite easily. 33 points from runs in general play for him, which is awesome. He was super busy, 29 tackles as well, huge workload from the big man, one of the rare 80-minute back rowers that we're going to get this year. Got that potential, got that upside. Whoever went him as an owner, you will be more than happy, I'm sure. Tommy Trbojevic, 81 points, 1 try assist, 1 line break assist, 1 line break, 33 points as well in runs alone. Awesome sign from Tommy Turbo. Getting to see the best part of him was that he was taking the hard runs out of yardage. A lot of times last year when he was playing with that injured leg, he would get the ball and then offload it straight away to a winger. It was a bit of a tactic they used to sort of free him up and make sure that he wasn't taking those tough carries. He wanted them. He was busting himself into the line. Awesome to see there from Tommy Trbojevic. I myself am an owner. 81 points. He was a bee's dick away from scoring a try. So, you know, that could have been up near 100. So we're super happy with that for Tommy Turbo. Burbo, Ben Trbojevic, 72 points in 71 minutes. Didn't quite get the 80 minutes there, but still 71. That is more than enough for Ben Trbojevic to make us some cash there. I have him down in my CTW spot where you should have him as well. A try, a line break, his brother put that on for him. Tommy Turbo put that on for him, so he'd be bloody happy with that. I tell you what, Mr. Trbojevic must have a hell of some swimmers going on with him. The 3, Turbo, Burbo and Gerbo in that side. Awesome to see the 3 brothers back playing for the Manly Sea Eagles. He did have a massive workload as well, old Burbo. 31 tackles and 11 points in run. That's 42 points in base. If you have that down in your CTW, he's 277k, I think he is. That is a gold mine there in the CTWs for a cheapie option there. Damien Cook, 68. He had a really good, strong start at the game. He sort of, I think him not trialling was a bit of a downfall for him. Owners, don't be worried about that. He had a try assist in there. He put Richie Kenner over from close range. Nice, crafty ball play out of there, out of hooker. Didn't really have the running game that we always see from Cookie, that you like to see from Cookie. That's where he gets most of his attacking points from. But again, first hit out, didn't have a trial, so he can be excused for just being a little bit fatigued in the back end of those games where he usually would run. 41 tackles, so super busy, good base on him. Happy to see there with Havili on the bench. He didn't really take any time away from Cookie, so good to see on the uptick for Ronas there. Daly Cherry Evans got a 62, 2 try assists. It was basically standard DCE work. He butchered a couple of, actually the one in general, the one where Ruben Garrick ran down the field, got to that. He sort of tried some little grubber play, which was terrible. But 62, he's going to work in really, really well with Olakawadu throughout this year. I had him tipped for a bet. For Olakawadu, anytime try scorer, I just thought short ball from DCE would be a gold mine. I think that edge, that right-hand edge of Manly is going to cause some massive headaches with DCE and Olakawadu there. Looked pretty good. I mean, 62, you're not going to snub your nose at it, but yeah, standard DCE sort of stuff. Luke Brooks, 59. Looked awesome. Looked awesome in the Manly jersey. Had a lot of responsibility taken off from him by that man we just talked about, DCE. Daly Cherry Evans was very involved with the play. He is obviously the guy that they're going to go to. Luke Brooks is taking a back step. He didn't get as much ball, didn't get as much time on the hands on the ball. But what he did get was quality. 59 points. He had a try, a line break assist, 19 tackles, only 8 points in runs, but that's excusable from him. He could have got another try, line break, and try assist. It could have been a phenomenal game. He released the ball, didn't regain that. Knock on, just as he was reaching out to score a try. That could have been a line break and a try for him. Also, unders ball, double pump to an unders ball to Tommy Trbojevic, who he himself, again, knocked it on before going to the line. So, a good game from Luke Brooks with 59. Could have been a hell of a lot better. His little show and go, burnt Ilias, scored in the corner there. It was beautiful to watch. His teammates getting around him was probably the best thing to see out of that. He's been under a lot of pressure, Luke Brooks, working with the Tigers there. So I think a bit of that pressure will be relieved from him now. Even though it's just one game, I know, but still, try. Had a massive hand in a lot of things there that were going right for Manly. So well done to Lukey Brooks. I have him in as my 5'8", so a little bit of a biased opinion there on him, but good to see. Cam Murray with a 58. He had 34 tackles, 24 points in runs alone, so basically 58 in base. The big one there for Cam Murray is 72 minutes with a 4-forward bench. That is awesome for him. First hit out of proper NRL, not trials. Awesome to see there from Cam Murray. 58, you're sort of paying up for him, but 58 points in base alone is awesome. His attacking stats will come. He looked really, really good, really busy. Obviously, having the captaincy role is awesome for him. He is a leader. I'm stoked with the 58 points. I'll take that every day of the week. Jacob Gagai working down 55. He got a try and a line break. Latrell Mitchell putting one on a dime for him on the right-hand edge. I'm still not sold on his job security, but the 55 in his average is going to be awesome to see. If he can, if they get Jackie Whiten back, have a little look there, what's going on. There's Thompson there that's still to come. Richie Kennar is in the centre position. He had a good start to the game, but Richie Kennar sort of petered out towards the end. He started getting a lot of knock-ons and missed tackles. Be interesting to see what they do with Jacob Gagai, whether they keep him or not. I think if you don't have him, leave him until round 3 where you're guaranteed a price rise. If you do have him, still not 100% sold on having him in my 17. There'll probably be people seeing that 55 going, yep, I'll put him in next week, but I'm unsure. Although he did have 20 points in runs alone, which is good base stats for any winger. He wasn't afraid to take a good carry. Obviously being that bit older at 28, I think that helped with his nerves, which was good. Saab, 53, ran for the most metres out of anyone, had a good intercept try. The only issue with him is he seems to have pulled his hamstring. For owners that have him, there wasn't too many that I saw, but for the diehards and the Manly boys, you may have been running with him. 53 is good for a Saab, but yeah, hamstring injury, looks like he could be out on the sidelines for some time. Keon Kalamatangi got a 51. That was all in base as well. So if you have Keon, a bit like Cam Murray, do not stress. Attacking points will come. Didn't really get much ball in attack, but yeah, his base, 50, 51. Super happy with that. Going down now, the front row forward, Sean Kepi with a 41. Again, all in base. No attacking stats. No offloads, which was a bit concerning. He did look really good with the offloads in the Charity Shield. But 41, based at under 400k, I'll take that. I wasn't expecting the world from Sean Kepi. He was probably my 16th person picked in my top 17. So a 41 I'm happy with. His first 25 minutes was awesome. He had 26. He was a point a minute sort of thing, which he kept. He did play 40 minutes throughout the game. The only worry is that they sort of left him until the last 15 to come on. I thought when he had 25, 26... for his first stint with 25 minutes, I thought, oh, beauty, if he comes on for the last 20, 25, could be looking up around the 50 point, but not to be. But still, 41 from Sean Kepi, I'm happy with him. Jai Arrow, 39 points. I know a lot of people were high on him, hoping he would play an 80-minute edge role. Jacob Host came on and took a bit of time from him. But a 39, just one to watch with him. Hurt his ankle in the very first run that he had. Could have hampered him a little bit throughout the game, but still, he was super aggressive. A couple of penalties there, a couple of dumb things he did that took away from his points, but still, I wouldn't be selling him. I wouldn't be buying him. If you've got Jai Arrow, leave it another week. They've got the long period there until their next game. just leave him there. 39s, he's not going to lose a stack of cash if he runs in 39s all day, so please leave him. Do not touch him anywhere. Cody Walker next with a 36, had a really quiet game. There was a couple of good little movements there where he shifted the ball out nicely on the left-hand side. The concerning thing was Cody Walker, he actually pulled up lame from a tackle with a calf issue. We know he's had a few issues coming into this game. He finished the game, looked reasonably unhampered by it, but that would have sent shockwaves through people's camp who do have him as an owner. I am just convinced that a Cody Walker game of 36 there, nothing to be really concerned about if that calf is fine or that ankle, whatever it may have been. Just purely not having any run through the trials. I also had a best bet on this. If you follow our Instagram page, we do run this. A best bet and our roughie got up today, so that was really good from us. Did highlight in that the likes of Cody Walker and Cookie hadn't trialled yet, so they may be a little bit underdone. Also being a fast pitch, I had counted that into it as well. Yeah, that's about all that we've got there for that game. Again, super aggressive start to that one. Awesome to see the claret coming out of absolutely everyone. The American viewers, if they were watching, they would have seen highlights of that a brutal game, quick game, and that's exactly what they got. Fingers crossed that lured them in with the first 15 minutes. Righto, we will run on to the next one. We had the Roosters 20 defeating the Broncos 10. This game was a little bit more sloppy. It was a bit harder to get into. It was a typical round one game. The connections weren't quite there. They were still working on combinations, but nonetheless, huge hits. Victor Radley was on a bit of a mission there for a while. He has left the dint of Kobe Hetherington in Las Vegas that'll last a lifetime, I believe. So that was awesome to watch. Yeah, super physical game. Everyone was in their faces. The Vegas thing sort of had a bit of that in it. There was a couple of people came out and said, it's a bit of a grand final, semi-final feel in round one because there's so much exposure, so much media coverage. They're doing so many things like the fan days. Awesome to see that they were putting that on for the punters as well. Everyone in Vegas on the strip going to the fanfare days was awesome to watch. But again, we're here for the Supercoach stuff, so we will run through this. Joey Manu with a tongue. Why on earth is this man going to rugby union? I have no fucking idea. I'm spewing about it. He will be missed in the rugby league community like you wouldn't believe. 106 points for him. A try assist. Got 12 points in effective offloads, two line break assists, 25 points in runs. He was super busy. Cobbo, what a fucking introduction to defending in the centres. He was getting absolutely bombarded by Joey Manu. Joey Manu was also, for those playing at home, doing a bit of a roving run. He showed up in the middle a fair bit, which is good to see. He's one to watch. Interesting to see how they do that roving sort of role with him. If there's a bloke who can do it, it is him because his favoured position is nearly fullback. So, one to watch there. Like I said, constantly getting the arm free, had good points in offloads, super busy, tackle busts all day, had an immense game. No doubt, man of the match in my eyes. Reece Walsh, 81, again, electric. Just seems to have that ability to get on the outside of defenders. When he does that, his speed is second to none. He's super hard to tackle, super hard to read if he's going to step back in or dart out to the outside. Awesome to watch him out there in the big lights of Vegas. He ended up with a try assist. He got 12 points in offloads as well, so the 4 offloads for him. 2 line break assists and 20 runs for Reece Walsh. Beautiful to see. Only issue with Walshy owners, there will be a nervous wait with what happens with the shoulder charge on Daniel Tupu. Saved a try, was awesome to see. He wasn't afraid to get his body on the line there. He saved a couple of tries down that edge, but 100% shoulder charge. Bit of a disagreement whether he should have got sent to the bin or not, but yeah, owners will be nervous on that one. No doubt everyone's running with a 2-gun fullback system, so if he does get a suspension, if it's not that heavy, I would be leaving it, but if he gets 3 to 4 weeks for this, I'm not saying he does. This is very early. Nothing's come out on it yet. This is Sunday night I'm doing this. One to watch. Anyway, his ability to skip out on the right-hand side there for that Dean Mariner try, kick back in on the edge, back inside. Beautiful to watch. Victor Radley was a bit of a surprise package. He played the 80 minutes out of everyone. The shit show that was that interchange will have super coaches scratching their heads. I don't even know what the fuck happened with that, but Victor Radley, the middleman at 13, played 80. If you had asked me who I picked was going to play 80, Victor Radley probably would have been 9th picked on that. So he ended up with 78. He was awesome, but he brought a lot of physicality to the game. He got a try, pumped through a heap of work, 34 tackles, 31 points in runs. If he does keep that 80-minute lock spot, that base of 65 in base alone is one that'll lick your lips at. I don't know if it'll happen. I'm unsure of what was going on with the rotation, but really good to see. He was a beast, super aggressive in defence, like we said. Backed up nicely for the game-winning try, so awesome to watch. Payne Haas, next down there, 71. Typical Payne Haas game. Busted through 70 minutes, 31 tackles, 14 points in tackle busts, and 23 points in runs. 70 minutes, he just got through a ton of work. Like usual, he did have a really good opportunity to score. I was a bit nervous as a guy who had him throughout the start of the season, and I just couldn't pay that up for him. So I brought him back to the pack, and I tell you what, it was nervous watching the tackle busts. I'm glad he only got 69, 70 minutes, because if he was up any further than that, he's a dangerous man, old Payne Haas. Awesome to see him getting those big minutes at the start of the season as well. Next one, Teddy with 70. It was a good 70 from Teddy. A try assist, 18 points in tackle busts. 18 points in tackle busts is the sort of stuff that we saw from Teddy, not last year, but 2 years ago, and throughout the previous part of his career. Awesome to see him get back to that. He was immense. He was doing the Tommy Debrojevic kick through, he would sprint through and regather. If there was points for that, he would have 20 of them, because he was awesome at doing that. Put Reece Walsh under a lot of pressure, which was awesome to see. He had 28 points in runs alone. Just awesome to see him break the line. Set up that nice little try for Radley there. Outside ball to him. Scores near under the sticks. Wraps the game up for the Roosters there. It was good to see Teddy back at his best, and he did look like he was sort of overplaying his hand a little bit at the start. I was nervous for him. I'm sure owners would have been shitting themselves about that, but pulled it together in the second half. All came for him, and yeah, a 70, beautiful from Teddy. Terrell May, 64. Got the minutes, got 55 minutes there off the bench, which is awesome to see. 64 points, 21 tackles, 12 points in offloads, and 29 runs. He was just super, super busy. Owners will be happy, and they'll be stoked. He's 430k. They'll be stoked with that minutes of 55 minutes. Opposed to Spencer Leniu, who started, I think people thought he was going to get a lot of minutes, but Terrell May is where the minutes ended up. Happy for super coaches who went him. I did flirt with the idea, but I pushed him down to the other bloke, Sean Keppie, who probably doesn't have as an explosive game, but that was a bit of a trade-off to get another gun in. I'll be watching him very, very closely next week. If he gets another 60 and he looks like he's in for a massive price rise, I will probably want to get onto him before he gets too far away and he gets to one of them people that are about 600 to 650k before a couple of weeks, and no one can get him. If you can get him at 430, even next week, I'm pretty tempted to jump on, but I'll probably just see what happens with my team. Ricky, 62. Good from Ricky. I think he might be picking a bit of slack up that has been left in the hold with the forwards that have gone, with Flegler and Catewell going there. 46 just in tackles and 21 in runs. So 57 in base from Ricky alone with the 62. That's good. He's a bit of an unknown, bit of a pod. If he can keep those numbers up, he's an 80-minute edge player. That's very good for Ricky. Jesse Arthurs, he's another one at 376k. He had a blinder of a game, 60 points from him. 1 try assist, 2 line breaks. Most encouraging about Jesse Arthurs, and what was my biggest worry about him, was 26 points in runs. Huge work ethic coming out of his own yardage. Good to see for owners. He could be a guy that people may want to downgrade to. Give him another game, have a look, make sure his runs are still up there or thereabouts. But he was really good coming out of yardage. That's the most impressed part I am about Jesse Arthurs is the 26, not the attacking stats. Corey Jensen with a 57. He came off the bench, actually. Probably don't read into that too much. He had 45 tackles, 16 runs, 56 minutes because Brendan Piakura had that head knock and didn't come back on. He went with the first 4 minutes, so Corey Jensen came straight on for him. Good, 57's good. If people owned him thinking that he was going to be a starting front rower, that would be really good. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to him and why he got demoted to the bench. But anyway, 57 is good for him for owners. Sam Walker, 55 at his price. That's pretty much what you would hope that he would get against a really good defensive team like the Broncos. So a 55 from Sam Walker is good. Goal kicking really helped. He got 16 points from goal kicking. Didn't miss one at all. So that really helped him. Got through a fair bit of tackles, 22 tackles for young Sammy Walker, which is really good for him. That'll help his base. Line break assist as well, chucked in there. But yeah, the goal kicking really helps him on a night like tonight. Selwyn Cobbo, first stint in the centres. What a baptism of fire up against Joey Manu. Tough night for any centre, let alone having one of your first goes in the centres. Defensively, a nightmare against him, but he held his own pretty well. He himself was a handful. He got 53 points. 10 points of that was in tackle bust. 14 points in that was from offloads. One was ineffective, but still you get the 2 points for that. 25 points in runs. Tough carries coming out of yardage. Still had that role going on from what he had from last year. But the 10 points in tackle busts, and 14 points in offloads is very encouraging to see. Shows that he's not just a one-out sort of bloke. You know, they were trying to get him involved in the line, but it was a bit hard, you know. Joey Manu's a really good defender. Sort of snuffed him out pretty well. I think Selwyn Cobbo, after these first couple of runs, Selwyn Cobbo, if he grows in that centre role, he could be a real option to target. Hopefully he loses a bit of cash, quiet couple of games, and then once his draw starts to easy up, might be a good little cash grab and even a season keeper if he keeps those sort of numbers up. Brandon Smith fell victim to the shit show that was the rotation of the Roosters in that second half. He got a 48, 31 tackles. He kicked a 40-20. Shout out. So we love to see that. He looked pretty good. He looked like he was controlling the ruck pretty well. His service out of dummy half wasn't too bad. I think most people expected him to come off for a breather, but and around that sort of mark at the 54th minute mark, But to not come on when, you know, the game was still in the balance, I thought was a bit crazy. He's a game winner. He's a something out of nothing kind of guy and an excellent defender. But to his credit, Sandon Smith come on, played a really good role. His service was good as well. But yeah, for owners, I'd just wait another week. 48's a good score for Brandon Smith. It's above what I think he was expected to get, or pretty much thereabouts. Holding for another week, wait to see what happens. He could have just been gassed. He could have been cramping. You don't know. First game back for the year. Brandon Smith doesn't have the 80-minute sort of game in him, so he might have just wanted to keep the other Smith on nice and fresh going into the back end of that game. Sua Wong, 46. Yeah, look, he was really good. 53 minutes. I think he was probably expected to get a little bit more there. I think he would have picked up around the 60, 65 minutes. He could have potentially even finished that game. Big concerns for him. Went off with an ankle injury, what it looked like. The commentators on KO had said as soon as he got off the field, he went down on his haunches and he was in all sorts of drama. So fingers crossed for Sua Wong and Sua Wong owners. It's nothing serious. He does have a long turnaround, which is basically 2 weeks to get back and get right. The 46 points in 53 minutes for an edge back rower, really good signs. 35 tackles, 4 in tackle bust and 11 in runs. Really good base. He was jamming up the points really, really quickly once he come back on for his second stint. He was really busy. Just, yeah, one to watch with that ankle injury. We will fly down a couple of spaces here. We've got Spencer Leniu. Anyone who got honeydicked by him starting, unfortunate, very unfortunate. Another thing was that Trent Robinson come out and said, we're going to try and increase his minutes. I suppose they did increase his minutes. He got the 42 minutes. but only 31 points. Now, usually Spencer Leniu runs at about a point per minute, so maybe we could see that uptick if he gets the 40 minutes to 45 minutes, hopefully, maybe. Terrell May was just awesome when he came on, so he didn't get back on. The other thing is, in his first hit up when he did come back on, Spencer Leniu got jammed back onto his back and his head smacked into the turf. I'm not exactly sure how he didn't get sent for a HIA because he was clearly wobbly. He was clearly a bit dazed by that, and he did actually shift out onto an edge, obviously to try and recover from that for a good 5 to 10 minutes. A bit going on there with a racial slur there towards Ezra Mam, so that's another one to watch. That could be another whole kettle of fish. I'm not sure what the NRL is going to do with that sort of stuff, but yeah, it has to be rubbed out of the game, and fingers crossed they do make an example out of him. No good for Supercoach owners, but if he's doing that sort of shit, no good for him. Fletcher Baker got a 31. He only got the 33 minutes. Look, good points per minute, just under 1. So that's good to see from him. But with Brendan Piakura going out, if he's only getting 33 minutes a game, I think he's probably one to avoid. If you've jumped on him, probably give him another week, see what happens, potentially. But I'd be dropping him down to a bottom dollar dude, 230k sort of guy, see what happens there. Sitili Tupanua fucking pulled my side apart to get this man in. 26 in 45 minutes. I was very happy with how my day was going right until Trent Robinson told Sitili to hit the showers at the 45th minute mark. Don't know what was happening there with that rotation. There's a couple of people that I don't understand what happened with their minutes, especially him and Smith. He was sort of not even playing on the edge. There was sometimes he was drifting from an edge back into the middle. Bit unlucky. There was a couple of opportunities where the Roosters were close to their line that they could have given him a bit of ball and he could have scored, but maybe that's me being a bit hopeful as an owner. The most confusing part about it, and confusing part about what Sitili's sort of role is there, Suli Wong comes off with about 15 to go with an ankle injury. For some reason, they put Lindsay Collins back on. I thought when Suli Wong went down, I thought, oh yeah, Sitili Tupanua will jump straight in there. That's really good. He'll get some more minutes into his legs, but not to be. I'll be holding on to Sitili for another week just to see what happens with that bench rotation, but he'll be a hard pass to probably start in my starting 17. Could potentially be a guy, if he only does get 45 minutes again, to drop down, unfortunately. Looking through, we've got Ezra Mam on 21. I know a lot of people were keen on him in the 5/8 role. Good for us on the day. We were sort of a bit more keen on Brooksy. But always going to be a bit of concern around with his base. He also was missing Piakura out on that left-hand edge with the HIA. We'll get on him in a second. Confidence would have been shot. Opening 5 minutes, cut-out ball, straight onto Joey Manu's chest. He runs 40 metres, scores under the sticks. Not a good start. His defence was quite poor as well. I'm not sure if he was missing that combination with Piakura. He's trained all pre-season with him, so a bit tough to see there from Ezra Mam, but a 21. Give him another week. We all knew that they were going to have a hard start to the draw, so you knew what you were in for with him. Sifting down through a couple, we'll get to that man we were talking about. Brendan Piakura, 4. He failed a HIA in the first 5 minutes. Very unfortunate for him. The good news is he probably will not miss a match. The Broncos have an extended period until they have their next game, so he should miss that 11-day stand-down period. So that is one of the pluses for Piakura. Please do not fucking sell him. If you bought him, you obviously bought him for a reason. Please do not sell him because he's at a HIA. The best thing about this is it's game 1, so the 4 will go out of his rolling average and be like fuck all affected after week 1. Fingers crossed for guys who don't own him, like myself. I'll be I'm hoping he has a quiet game next week and the next couple of weeks, and he can really go down in price even, believe it or not. And I'll be able to pick him up after about round 5 when their draw eases up a little bit. So yeah, that's about all we've got to run through today. Again, awesome to see the footy back on. That was a bit more detailed than we'll sort of usually go through with this, but being only the 2 games, I thought I'd give it a good little crack and a good run through. We'll be doing this every Sunday night. We'll be trying to publish this before Monday morning. I sort of want to get this out to you guys before Monday morning. Listen to it on Spotify, listen to it on YouTube, getting ready for work, or listening in the car on your way to work, getting all the information of the week that's been. Again, our league code is 726638. If you haven't jumped on that, jump on board. We've got shirts, hats, stickers, stubby coolers coming. Another thing is, please sign up to not sign up, we're not charging anybody any money. Please follow us on Instagram. We're going to have weekly updates on who is winning, who is our highest scorer, our top 5 sort of rankings there each week. So if you're interested in that, jump on. Also today, I changed my team a little bit just before. Jump onto our socials. On our Instagram, I'll be telling people of the changes I'll be making. I do not want to bullshit anyone. I hate it when people do that. They get on a podcast at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night and tell you all the trades they've made, and then by Thursday afternoon, they've made all these different ones and you don't find out about it until Monday or Tuesday the next week. So please follow us on Instagram. We're going to be revealing moments out from kickoffs, exactly who our trades are, exactly who you should be targeting as trades, and all that other good stuff there on our Instagram page. Anyway, that's all from us, legends. Cheers. Take care.